Good morning for October 28th, Friday, 2022. I wasn't sure I was going to make a video this morning, but decided to go ahead and do so. It's 9:44 Eastern Time, so 1 minute for a new 15-minute bar. And I'm pulling the daily chart here because this sort of plays into some of the ideas today. We're looking at this little scrunched up here. So I've drawn a trend line here. We are within parallel lines, so this does still indicate to me a corrective wave. Volume as we go up is still a bit what do you want to say? Divergent. That's what I want to say. So we've got this trend line here. It is about, well, I'll draw this on here. I've forgotten now what the number was. So at this bar, it's about at last week's high, around 37.80-ish. So that's a potential, actually a little higher than that, maybe it's about 37.85-ish. And right now we're dancing with the 50 simple moving average. So right now, any trade higher, we'd want to see on, we'd want to see this hold, and that is at 38.44.75, which I'd already put on my TPO chart a little bit ago, and it doesn't change that fast because it's based on daily bars, right? And we've only got this one daily bar that's moving. So this is a critical inflection point right now, whether we continue higher or not. And some of my stories are pretty clear about just letting things shake out. And let me pull these in here. Well, actually, let's look at the profile. So one thing that happened yesterday, which was, I don't know how unusual it was, but somewhat, I changed my charts to instead of like for all my, as long as I've been trading, I had the close of the charts, not to be mistaken with settlement, at 4:15 Eastern Time. Well, I have them closed now at 4 even, and I don't have my Globex start until 6 p.m. And I noticed yesterday afternoon the runoff was just a big move down, and came all the way down to, I guess, well, I'd have to look at a chart to see. But at any rate, considering that basically a late spike this morning, and right now we've gotten rejected above it. But we opened, and one of the reasons again, it's really hard to make a pre-market video because a lot of the stories are based on the where we open. And when we're opening in range and below value, I mean, we were gapping down slightly for a long time until the last half an hour. I'm not really counting this. The news, the PCE news, that bar was just a wild bar. Then it came back and just settled down. But then we traded back up here, coming into the open, and of course, since we traded back into value, and of course, it was one of my stories. But I was writing this before the open, and open in range below value. All of them are based on that, and right now, as you can see, I have the 50 moving average up here. Let me take off the crosshairs at 38.44.75. If we start closing below it or move below it, that's going to possibly mean a rotation back down. I don't know. If we do go higher, we want to see closes above the value area high. All right, I'm starting to get into kind of real-time commentary here. Let's talk about the stories. For what it's worth, open in range below value, reject value area, prior day's range, trade lower. Okay, that didn't happen. And again, the story starts with the way it's looking in the open. It can change, and then I like to okay, what happens if that does change? All right. The idea was to let the market shake out a bit, look for the inability to take overnight high, prairie dog the pivot point, the swing high in M period, the overnight high for consideration as shorts. So looking for closing bars below settlement, or bars closing is what I meant to say, or watch out, meaning be careful. All right, well, I'll just show what happened here. This is what did not happen. We got above the overnight high. We got above the pivot point. We got above the, M periods was before that. This is the TPOC. I could have easily called it that. Uh-oh, what did I just delete? Just deleted something. I was trying to close it here. So we've got the TPOC here, right? So we got above that. That's where halfback is right now. Um, it's been slow and steady to the upside. That's something that's important, but it hasn't been rocketing. However, we are developing value in here, and as far as I'm concerned, we have the 80% rule requires another TPO to open inside of it and all this, but we've traversed this balance to the value area. B period may hold up here or come back out, but the 80% rule idea, that's sort of been in play in my abstractly, right? All right, opening range below value, probe lower. This has not happened yet. Let the market shake out. Well, I'm going to put these, I'll just make the video short. You can read these because you can either pause the video and read these if you want, if anybody's watching this, or in Futures IO. I actually put this little card as an attachment in there. And opening range and value move to value area high on 80%. Okay, well, we opened in range below value, but it moved into value. Find long entries, take an inflection point by inflection point higher. And this has sort of been in play at the moment. If you were to consider, well, we are in the likelihood, basically it means that if we stay inside of value, we're going to get the other side of value. If we open outside and trade back into it, if we open inside, trade out and trade back in, or if we open outside and come in. So I'm saying all this because some people are very legalistic about things like this, but hey, that's great. That has its strengths, but so does taking the concepts and having a broader application. All right, so rotate between or around settle down to, this is the whole spike rule thing. That has not happened. Of course, if we get a shift in the market state today, we want to watch that just the overnight inventory area basically is around that spike. So that's your whole spike area, I'd say, because I don't have the end period on here, and I'm not inclined to go print it on there either, but I'm just considering the overnight inventory of that area. And then continuation below prior low a day. This is also, I just want to say this, I didn't write it in here, but this kind of means that we've accomplished this. We've rotated down through it. The market's continuing a rotation, so I don't mean an overall rotation, but we've moved through it, and I should say continuing below overnight low. But there's a bit of let me pull this up here. There's a bit of stuff to get through here. So, and the prior low a day is right here, right here at 38.13.5. So we need to get through all this and take out the overnight low, but there's a lot to get through. Nevertheless, okay, continuation through there is going to be hallmarked by lower time frames, not just 30-minute bar. Whatever you look at, from your millisecond price action thing on a heat map to whatever footprint charts, smaller time frame bar charts, tick charts, you name it. Look to lower time frames for clue to strength. And what that's going to look like is you're going to have volume points of control moving lower on, let's say, a footprint chart. You're going to have closes in the lower half of a bar. You're going to have one time framing on bars. And it doesn't mean it won't stop one time framing on the lower time frame, but that may be playing out in one time framing in the upper time frames, or a degree higher in time frames. So that's some good information right there. But anyway, be cautious no matter what, holding positions to the short side. Overnight value low and the trend line are likely targets. And the trend line, again, I'm going to bring this back in, is just this channel. I'm going to move this out. I'm going to get rid of this now. Is this channel base right here. Okay, which is also, I think it's the 9 moving average is running right into it. So if you have that on your chart, it's right on it right now. Struggling around this 50 moving average. Like I said, this is kind of an inflection point. Well, I don't know. VPOC has moved up here, but we want to watch for move back into the value area high, because that's always, it doesn't look to me like there's big, yesterday there was not the footprints of other time frames heavily influencing the market. And today I would say that that's likely the case. It is Friday, so bear that in mind. And thank you very much. Make a great day. Bye.